Dear colleagues, it gives me immense pleasure to be with you to participate in this anniversary celebration of your association. For a person who has risen from the cadre, I can very well share your sentiments. As a person who had come in close contact with organizations of this nature in the past, I respect your role as an association and has immense faith in your wisdom to settle all your issues through bilateral relationships. We are all in the process of evolution. You are aware how the trade union movement has evolved in this country and how management concept has undergone several changes. Since the whole issue surrounds human beings, one cannot confidently say that we have reached an ideal stage. When once we realize that both management and the association are trying to create an ideal atmosphere, then we develop a desire for adjustment for a happy relationship. This will go a long way in promoting the well-being of the institution and the welfare of the officers. By evolution of a fruitful relationship, we have come to a stage when the management welcomes appointment of directors from the two major sections of employees on the board of the bank. No doubt these directors discharge their duties with a sense of responsibility. However, it is a debatable point whether this kind of participation in the management begins and ends with the board or whether it will also cover other areas of policy making and operations. I feel a stage has come when we cannot escape this question and any concept of management is not for its own sake. It has to create greater dynamism in our work and fashion appropriate attitude towards managing, particularly so with officers who at various levels are charged with managing. The spirit of active participation is meant not only to create harmonious atmosphere but a productive climate. By this yardstick, we have to ask ourselves whether the concept has done as much good as it ought to, considering the pace at which we are asked to grow. Many of you will agree that it did contribute to better our industrial relations, particularly so our bank. Now the question arises about productivity and business growth. You are aware that after decentralization, the role of officers at various levels has undergone a drastic change. With powers delegated, they are meant to participate in decision making in wide variety of matters concerning policy making and operations. Besides, they are encouraged, trained to shoulder far greater responsibilities. I will not say our training is complete or it has covered all officers of the bank, but we have done considerable work in this area and we hope to intensify our efforts in future. We have set up certain goals. We accomplish our goals not because the head of institution has asked us to do so, but they are our goals and it is part of our business responsibility that we should achieve these goals. By not doing so, the corporate body of which we are members will not accomplish its goals. This awareness is important because we are in a sector which is given the task of national development. I should say an association of officers has a greater role to play in an institution than what is attributed to them normally. When the management concept could change, when the roles of all functionaries, including the chief executive, could change, and when the very objectives of the industry could change, the role of associations and unions who are part and parcel of the industry must also change. It should not be static. This does not mean that they should shed their fundamental role of working for the welfare of their members. This only means they are expected to make a positive contribution to the implementation of national as well as industrial priorities. In fact, it is in their own interest they should do so. It is a pity that people should think that their bargaining power improved by negative approach. This mistaken impression is formed because no one has really given a fair deal to positive approach. One who advocates negative approach has not fully exhausted the possibilities of a negative approach. If all of us discharge our duties, achieve our business targets, strengthen the organization and improve its growth rate, it will give an added advantage to your bargaining power. By not sharing corporate aspirations, by neglecting national priorities, by weakening the strength of the organization, we will be doing great harm not only to ourselves but also to the country at large. I am happy that our officers did play their role well, otherwise, we would not have achieved the present position. But we must also know and visualize the changes that take place in our role and make continuous adjustment according to circumstances. So your association has also to play an important role by asking your members to adapt to the changing conditions. Whatever measures this bank has taken within its power and policy framework during the last 3 years was aimed at creating more opportunities for growth and development of both officers and workmen. The process has been initiated. One has to be patient before it makes a total impact. Besides, we have to give a fair trial for the process to succeed. We have to support it by our effective participation. But we must also remember those opportunities for growth go along with the growth of the bank. We should realize that unless we participate in the growth of the bank, we cannot create opportunities for ourselves. The only way to be effective is to participate at all levels. Association has everything to gain by doing so. I am sure as one of the most responsible bodies in the industry, you are well aware of it, and I hope you would extend your hand of cooperation in implementing corporate objectives. This year, we had set for ourselves a higher deposit targets. I know it is not an easy task, but at the same time, it is also not beyond our capacity. We are hopeful of reaching the target through your full participation so that you can rightly feel proud of the achievement. I wish the association glorious innings. Thank you.